Hello, everyone. It is 11:30 Central, so we will get started. Welcome and thank you for tuning into today's webinar, Using Anatomical Models to Teach Body Structure and Function. My name is Emily, and I will be behind the scenes assisting our lead presenter today, Shika Goodwin. Shika is the newest product manager here at Realityworks and has been with us for a little over a year now. She earned her doctorate in biomedical engineering from the University of Minnesota, as well as a master's in chemical engineering from Georgia Institute of Technology. Here at Realityworks, Shika spends her time working with engineers and product managers, and her favorite part of her job is interacting with instructors to help design the new set of hands-on learning tools for the future. She is a fantastic resource for today's presentation. Before we get started, I do want to cover a couple things. First, today's presentation is being recorded and you will receive a link to that recording as well as a link to the PowerPoint presentation as well. You should see that email within 24 hours after the presentation. Second, we will be having a Q&A session at the end. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to use the chat feature or the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen, and we will answer those at the end of the presentation. With that being said, I'm going to pass things over to Shika to get us going.
Thank you very much, Emily. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. The name of the company for which I work for is Realityworks, and we make products to help with hands-on learning. The title of my talk today is Using Anatomical Models to Teach Body Structure and Function. This is the outline of my talk. I'm going to go through first the range of Realityworks anatomical models. I'm going to then cover the anatomical models and a bunch of classroom ideas on how to use those anatomical models in various settings. I will then go over more resources, how you can use these models and what are the resources that are available. Then I'm going to show you some of the new health science products that we have in making. And then in the last, as Emily mentioned, we will have a Q&A session. I do want to remind everyone that there will be quite a few links shared during my talk, and all those links will be available to you, and Emily will send them out to you. An effective way to teach students basic anatomy and physiology is through the use of anatomical models. These type of resources allow for hands-on learning and exploration to help students understand difficult concepts. This session will give you idea for quick mini lessons using anatomical models to teach the content related to body structure and function. So for those of you who teach anatomy, you all know how hard it is to teach, and second, how hard it is for students to memorize and remember. Thus, we all need tools that can help with both of these goals. And I am someone who have used these tools to teach in my classes. Anatomy is a study of bodily structures. There are actual 3D representation of these bodily structures, and they are called anatomical models. These anatomical models help a lot with hands-on learning. So the key benefits of using these anatomical models are that they are very versatile and they can be used over and over again. Now, here are a few examples of the breadth of anatomical models that we have available. There are models available for each bodily structures. So here on the slide, you can see there's a website. So that's our website. You can actually click on the website and then you can go and see the wide variety of anatomical models that can help with innovative learning and studying. One of the things that I really love about our models are the size. There are models that are actual really size of the human torso, so you can really relate to the bodily structure. But then there are some models that are really big, so you can really explain them the different parts. So, and then there are some models that can be tabletop versions, so you can have them in the group settings. So as you can see here on the slide, there are just few representation of the bodily structures, but as I said, there are far more bodily structures that are available. So feel free to use that. it is important to explain the anatomy as well as function of these bodily structures. So here on the screen, you can see wide variety of systems that are present: immune system, nervous system, musculoskeletal system, respiratory system. And it is very important for students to also understand the correlation between these bodily structures. So now I'm going to cover some of the anatomical models and the classroom ideas that are associated with that. So first, let me show you a muscular tabletop version that includes muscles, tendons, vasculature, and ligaments. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and show you on this. So here, using this model, as you can see, you can have them students use this model as a group setting. They can actually handle it, they can touch it, they can feel it. You can have them understand how various tendons are associated, how muscles are related to each other, what are the muscular bodily movements that are associated, what muscles will move when you move something. So basically, they can really understand, see various muscles, tendons, ligaments that are associated. So this is a very good model, as you can see. And a lot of the parts of those models come out. So you can have them take them out, name those bodily structures, name the muscles, etc. So as you can see, as you saw in the model, that the muscles were red in color, they were ligaments that were joining the bones to various bones, and then definitely tendons were there. Some of the tendons are visible. And this is definitely a very convenient tabletop version. Now, here is a classroom idea that you can use with that model. So one of the classroom ideas is repetition, and definitely with anatomy, when it's so hard to remember, repetition helps a lot with memorization. So list of top takeaway from the muscle tissue is that it can be categorized as skeleton, cardiac, and smooth. So you can teach all those concepts in class, but then you can give them homework, which builds in the repetition of which is the very important thing. So you can provide them a muscular system handout, and you can have the students label the major muscles that they learned in their anatomical lesson. So I always make a list of important takeaways also whenever I give a material. So what I do is whenever I have a class or a slide that I'm giving, I will always go through the list of important takeaways. And then I give the homework to the students, which will help them repeat and go through the stuff that they have learned in the classroom. Here is another example where they can actually create their own muscular system demo. So here in this link, which will be provided to you, this muscular system is actually explained in 6 minutes. So it's a really good. So what you can have is you can actually show this video either in the class, or you can give this as an assignment to student that they have to go through the video and then they have to write down the things that they have learned. So this is a really good resource, and they can actually look through the demo and understand. Heart model. So here I'm actually going to show you a heart model, and this I will show you various pulmonary arteries, valves, and veins. So, and one of the things that I like about this heart model is how big it is. So definitely it is not the realistic heart model, like as all of you know, our hearts are like this big. But basically when you show them this model, you can point out to various veins where they are located. What are the chambers of the heart? Where is the blood flowing through? Like it's hard to see the inside, but definitely you can show from the outside point of view where it's located, where the blood is going through, and how the arteries and veins come together to make this wonderful organ that we have in our body. So yeah, and that model did have 4 removable parts. You can remove those parts, understand the intricacies that go in together. So here on the next slide, I have an idea that you can use. You can actually do a group formation, and you can have the students represent how the blood flows. So here is a 2-minute video link on blood flow through the heart. So you can have the students watch that video. Then you can set up your large classroom diagram of the circulatory system, and you can actually assign the students roles like heart, lung, and blood. And then you can have the blood that will travel to each of the body part that they're assigned, and they will have oxygen or carbon dioxide tags, depending on whether it's an artery, vein, or it's being used. And you can actually set up the whole classroom, and you can have the students like play roles of the blood body part or the blood. And students then can record in their journal explaining the process, how they demonstrated it. And this example of this whole classroom idea and the activity is on this link. Next I have here is a human torso. And this is one of my favorite parts and one of my favorite models, because as I was talking about that there are various systems, nervous system, endocrine system and things. You can here really explain them how various parts come together. And this one actually has like 19 removable parts. So you can actually take out a part, you can explain them. So starting from top, you can have like this eye come out. And on the other side, actually, you can even see how it looks like from the outside, but then from the other side, you can show them from the inside. So here you can have actually the various systems, as I was mentioning, come out. So you can actually take out various systems, and you can have students name how this is related. So I'm sorry, making a mess, but basically you can have students, then you can explain them how lungs come together, how they look from outside, what is behind that. And it is really important for students to be able to understand how systems are coming together. You can actually show how lungs are related to the heart. And here you can see the realistic heart. So this is a real size torso. So you can have them understand this. You can actually have them do this activity, put it together. So you can see there are large intestine, small intestine, how stomach is there. And then you can actually have the body parts come out, pancreas and things like that. So this is one of my favorite models, because you can actually have this model as a play area, and you can actually have them name. And the best part is you can have them understand the functions that are related with each of these parts. So you can give just a sheet to them. You can have them write all the 19 removable parts, write the functions that they do, how that is related to each other. So as I mentioned, you can see various internal organs of that, thorax, abdominal, and so on. So here is a classroom idea related to function and structure. And it is really fairly important to relate the function to structure. And one of the tricks is to go vice versa. Sometimes it is beneficial to come up with a naming strategy, or sometimes linking the function to the structure. So here on the screen, what you see is a link to a short video, which has a tricks for memorizing the 11 organ system of the body. You can use the human torso model to point out the examples of organs in various systems, and then you can use the tricks like this to remember the system. So here the trick is murder's link, and it's easy to remember the word murder. And then you can go on and understand M is for muscular, urinary, reproductive, and so on. So this is one of the, and mnemonics really help a lot, especially understanding and learning anatomy. So next one here is a human skeleton that we have a tabletop size. And the tabletop size human skeleton features the movable limbs and accurate body structures for the study of human skeletal system. This is very convenient size, and it is terrific for putting a skeleton in the hands of students to manipulate, articulate, and learn from it. And a life-size skeleton is also a great visual to give students a window into the anatomy. So it has a movable limbs, as I mentioned. So here is the classroom idea. Students actually love to play games. You can ask any student, any kid, they love to play a game. So think about the love of their video games. You can help tap into this powerful, engaging strategy by gamifying your anatomy and physiology classes. So the first link here provides you a template for a human anatomy Jeopardy game. And I can tell you from that I use this game, and that was the single most important thing that my classroom students said that helped them memorize. So I actually divided them into the groups. I devised all the material, like as much material I can put it in the Jeopardy game. I played the game, and I actually had the team that wins will actually get like a 2-point bonus in their actual exam. So my students were so motivated, and they really had a blast playing that Jeopardy game. You can actually create one for a specific system like skeletal system, or you can do for the whole anatomy. And there are many templates available. So here are, as I said, some of them. You can have them categorize the bones of hands, bones in the legs, and so forth. You could also incorporate the use of skeleton models by pointing to the bone, and then you will provide the answer. So like you're pointing to something and then they have to. And the second link that you see here is the Anatomy Arcade. And this is a gold mine of games for various parts of the anatomy. Games like What a Bone provides lots of entertaining and entertainment. The third link here is a timed game where you point to a bone and then you must identify it. Instructors can use this on a whiteboard for the whole class interaction. So this is that. So here are quite a few links that are available to you all. And here I'm going to show you actually a male and a female pelvic model. And one of my best things about it is like the detailed view of external as well as the internal structure. So one of the best parts of it is the differences. And this is definitely very hard to explain those students and understand like the differences in female and male body parts. So here, when you look through these structures, you can actually have them classify, understand, line the differences and see how it's related. And it does have some removable parts. So you can actually have them see from inside and understand like where the differences is. You can point out various anatomical parts and so on. So this is another example of how you can have this model to first explain to the class. So you can do the demonstration in front of the whole class. And then secondly, you can have them actually take this on in their hands and understand. So they can actually use a sheet of paper, you can draw it, they can color it and so on. So this basically helps them understand the detailed internal as well as external structures of the male and female pelvic model. And one of the things you can understand is that this is a topic that is very sensitive and it can be really hard. So this actually models like this help make it very, the topic very objective and straightforward. One another idea in the classroom is called flipped classroom or reverse lecture. So in the case of flipped classroom, what you do is you provide them the PowerPoint lecture or the video that they have to do beforehand. So what I used to do is I would record myself beforehand and then students will actually watch that video at home. So then students will listen to the lecture at home, and in class what you do is actually have them answer questions as well as test their understanding. This is a great resource and it really works wonderful when you have a lot of material to cover. So Realityworks actually has a free lesson on the topic of male and female reproductive system anatomy in Healthy Choices curriculum available at the link below this link. So basically you can go to this link in lesson 2.1 reproductive systems fertilization conception. It includes an extensive PowerPoint and a lecture that you can use with your students along with the male and female pelvic model. So you can provide that recorded lecture and then you can have this, give students the handout that are available, and you can actually make this available for remote learning. So this one works wonderful for remote learning. And then when you're back together, you can share the answers from the handout, and then you can also assess their understanding of the reproductive system. So I actually used to do like 25% or 30% of my classrooms or lectures as flipped classroom style. Lastly, and the most important one is hands-on practice. So here are some engaging ways to do it. So you can have lab time, you can have group time, you can have time when students can actually work with the anatomical models. You can have gather a group of related models. So like you can have like all the models come together. Here you can see set of joint structures that you have. You can have a station of that. You can have a station of all the bones. You can have them rotate. You can have a prepared written questions for students to answer at each station as they work with the models. Another idea is beat the clock, which is an engaging and a competitive way to get students to learn anatomy. So if you have a model with removable part, turn it into a competition using like a timer. Here, there's a link to a timer or a cell phone. You can challenge a student to put together the model in the fastest time they can. And the students who does is the quickest is the winner. Or you could make a team of students and each team has to have each member put together one piece and see which group can assemble the model the fastest. There are top 10 amazing facts where you can have the students research amazing facts about an organ or a system shown in the model. And then you can have the model on the display in front of the class as a reference. Then you can have the students who have researched amazing facts about the organ demonstrate that. So they can have 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can call them together and then have them provide that like list. So wait, I have given you a lot of resources, but there are more resources for you to teach your anatomy and physiology classes. So the first link here is a plethora of recommended anatomy and physiology link. It includes videos, images, lessons, and many, many other links to resources. So I really love this resource. Then Health Science Educator Association, HISA, has a group of educators and they have a Facebook group. It's very active on that Facebook. So what you can do is join that group. You can share resources, you can post questions, and basically you can reach out for any of the topics that or areas that you want to. And it's a terrific resource. And this third link here is a website that has multiple lesson plans for each of the systems. So you can actually use those lesson plans and help enhance your learning or teaching. And this here is just a reminder that if you're looking for the best resource for a national standards for anatomy and physiology, the National Consortium for Health Science Education is a place to go. It is a great check for lesson plans to ensure that you're covering everything you should. And it's just amazing. This is just a snapshot of the foundation that I took out, and you can just see how much detail it goes through, like the various planes, so you don't want to forget any of them, the various directional units, the bodily cavity. So basically, this is a really, really great resource. And I would highly encourage you to just print it out or go through it and see that you're making sure that you're covering a lot of things that are mentioned there. And here what I have for you are some of the free or low cost anatomy and physiology apps. So first one here is the Essential Skeleton 4. And this is basically has a 3D anatomy atlas. And you can rotate through the skeleton, you can view individual bones, you can listen to the pronunciation, you can annotate and share images. And this is available for Android, Mac, iOS, and Windows. The next one is Visual Anatomy, which contains all the body anatomy systems. And it has like more than 500 images, and it has labels for them and description. Next one is the 3D4 medical images. Then there are some anatomy and physiology apps. And then you have a Netter's Anatomy if you're using that handbook or their textbook. And then there are some other physiology animations as well. So these are just really great, most of them free versions of the anatomy and physiology resources. Here what I have for you are some of the free 3D animations. So the first animation here actually describes how different joint work. This is just great resource because you can just have students watch it and they can really see like a pictorially how things are happening and what is going on in the system. Next one is on human heart, which I can see is a great resource if you're showing that big model you have in front of you, and then you have this video playing, and then you can point out on the model what's happening in the video and what's happening in your heart. Next one is on human skeletons. You can go through and watch that video or show it to your students. The first link is an online textbook that has a great background information on joints and illustration. And the second one is a freely activity that involves charades and learning about joints. So there are many lessons on Lesson Planet, and teachers are like putting some resources that are available from teachers. So this is just some of the examples, and I really highly encourage you to look into that. And now I would like to share with you some of the health science resources that we have available in 2021 from us, Realityworks. And here what you see on the screen is some of the products. First one is auscultation trainer, which I'm just so excited about because there is nothing like this in the market. So what you see here is it has human torso, which actually shows the internal bodily organs. But then there is a removable vest, which you can put on it. And you can actually use the reality scope that comes with the product, and you can attach to any of the stethoscope. And basically then you can listen to wide variety of heart, lung, and bowel sounds. And I just love this app because this allows you to actually have students practice auscultation, listen to the sound, and then you can have them test their knowledge. And just to let you know, all of the sounds that are used in this auscultation trainer are real human sounds. Next one here is a BMM ventilation trainer, amazing resource. As you can see, there are some elder abuse training kit we have a joint model set. We have soft skills programs, and they allow you to learn about caring for patients with intellectual disabilities or mental illness or PTSD. We have a suture practice class set. And here there is some more information. One of the new offerings that we have at Realityworks are the online skills program. So there is leadership, employability, and quite a few. And these are just really good resources. And especially right now, during this time where you're doing remote learning, these can be excellent product. And here I have some set of scenario cards for you. And here I also want to tell you a little bit more about the additional free resources that are available to you. First of all, we have an ongoing series of webinars that are free. You can actually register and attend or receive the recording of any of these webinars if you cannot attend. There are dozens and dozens of archived health science webinars on our website that you can also access. You can just go to this link and sign up for future webinars or access any of the past webinars. And some more additional resources for you. We want to connect with you with our social media. So you can visit our blog for additional information from customers. You can like us on Facebook, or you can follow us on Twitter to learn even more about our products and industry. So here I'm going to actually go on to the question and answer.
All right, Chica, we did have one question that did come in. Are there any models that have muscle that can change shape to show effects of contractions?
Thank you for talking about it, because we have a product in development about that. But the current models that we have is one of the one that showed the muscle, but then we have the other one that has the motion on it. But I'm not sure whether it shows the contractions per se as of now.
Perfect. And then we did get a question, will this presentation be available for access today? We will be sending out a copy of a link of the PowerPoint presentation, including all of Shika's links that she showed you guys today, as well as a link to the recorded webinar within 24 hours after the presentation. So just look for that. You should see it in your email by tomorrow morning. And then Shika, a question for you. What is the cost for the soft skills program caring for patients with disabilities?
The cost actually varies based on the licensure. So you can go in there, and I think it varies from under 1,000 to a few thousands, depending on whether the licensure you're using for single use or like in a classroom for all their students, or it's like the district licensure or school licensure shown. So you can go and see, and it also varies on whether it's for 1 year or 3 years. So you can go and link, but various ways it's available.
And then Shika, what level are our products designed for?
So definitely they are for CTE courses that you're teaching anatomy and physiology in high school, but we do have some models that will work really, really well with the higher level too. So, and we really target our models to be taught in anatomy and physiology as mentioned, and they can be for CNAs, for sports medicine, EMTs, and so on. So various health science focused classes.
Okay, Shika, it looks like we're getting a lot of questions regarding the cost of different products.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell them where they can go to find out all of those prices?
Sure, I would love to do that. So what I'm going to do is stop sharing my screen. Then I'm going to actually go to the Realityworks website. And then I'm going to share my screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually share the screen so that you can see my screen. Share. So hopefully now you can see the screen. So what I did is I went to realityworks.com, as you can see, and then I can click on products. So let's see. So I want to first show you the products. So you can actually see the anatomical models here. So we have as the models, as I said, so you can actually click on any of the models and then you can see its price and you will know. You can just add to cart, you can quote, you can watch the video here more. You can see related products that are related to it. And then you can see the new health science products, as I was showing you, the auscultation trainer. This is one of my favorites, and it actually has a promotion going on, things like that. So you can go through, look at the various, you have class package and single package. And a lot of people were asking about the soft skills program. So you can click here and then you can see. So this is the card for this. And if there are different curriculum or things like that, it will give. And actually one of the best things about this is you can actually have access to free first class, as I mentioned. So you can actually sign up and look into how can I get a first free class or so on. So these are here. So these are various like online employability skills. So here, what I was saying, unlock your free trial. So you can have a free trial to this. But basically, this is what I was saying. You can have a district site or teacher. So if I want to do teacher and you want to do 5 year, it will give you the cost. If you want teacher as a 1 year, it will give you a cost. So it can vary from $500 to all the way to like you want for the whole district and you want for 5 years, it can go like that. But that will allow you to access any of this resource for 5 years at all the schools and all the teachers. But this is amazing. Like this one of becoming just really sought after product. And just, yeah. And one of the things I forgot to tell you is if you have ideas for any of the other products or any things that you have hard time explaining to students or students have hard time, we are constantly looking for ideas. In fact, we love that because most of our products came through you guys. So you helped us design our product. So please reach out at any point.
All right, Chika, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in, just a lot of thank yous and great resources coming in the chat.
Thank you so much for allowing us to give you this presentation.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. Reminder, within 24 hours after the presentation, you should be receiving those links. So definitely look for those, definitely check your spam mail, and everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.